Hi you guys, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. My name is Melanie, and today I thought I would do something a little bit different. When I was going through the paper pads that I have yet to break down, we are getting close to the end if only I stopped buying them. And I came across these two. This is Parklane Woodland and this is English Garden, and the colors are not a perfect match, but they're very similar. And so what I thought I would do with this one, instead of just making kits from one paper pad, is that I would intermix these and see what kind of kits I can make out of both. So I thought before I went and put kits together, we would just kind of tear these apart and you could see what the images are in the different pads, and then I'll come back and show you what kits are, what pages I combined. They are double-sided. This one definitely has a woodland theme to it with the little critters. These would be great for outdoor hikes and that kind of thing. I'm going to use both of these as kit starters. This is a foiled. The other side has more kits. I also want to show you something else that's lying on my desk that I just thought of. This is Thicker's Captured. And I know they had a line specifically for this, and I actually have some of it in my stash. But I think a lot of this has a similar look and feel to it that I think you could get away using these as embellishments. Now, I'm not going to treat them that way. I am just going to do paper kits, but just something to keep in mind. This is really pretty, the butterflies. And look at that plaid. Very nice. I like both of those patterns. So I like them together. I do like them together. The only thing is, so what I'm going to do is, because I've got on both sides, I'm going to do both of these as a kit starter. Oh, look at that wood grain. Beautiful. Oh, look at these birds. They're so cute. Sorry that I have to orient it this way. I just don't have enough space on my table to do otherwise. Beautiful plaid. Green's really pretty too. Oh, and more foil. This is going to be one of the first things I have to go through is all my specialty paper, because seriously, I have too much foil. Now, the other side is a wood grain, so thank goodness that's what we'll probably opt for. This looks like a corduroy print in a neutral, and then the other side is this purpley color. I think I've got enough neutrals already, so I'm going to keep this purple side up. This is definitely going to be a kit starter. The other side is that browny yellow. And surprise, surprise, yet more foil. This has got that purple on the other side. Oh, I love this paper. But then I'm a sucker for butterflies. So pretty. See, and there is foiling on here, and this doesn't bother me near as much because it's just subtle. Backside is a deep purple, which is really pretty too. I don't know, it seems to be one of those taboo colors in the scrapbooking or paper crafting world. What do you think? Yay or nay for purple? And then I've got some cut aparts with a gold yellow on the back side, and I think I'm going to keep that up, and I will keep both of these sides up, and the cut aparts will just be a bonus wherever they end up. There are some really pretty cards though. Okay, so that is Parklane Woodland. Tear the cover off because I do keep this with the kits. And now let's take a look at English Garden. It's a very generic neutral on the other side. This would be okay for a kit, I think. We got the cut aparts. Oh, and it's a wood grain. You know which way this is going. In the wood grain pile. I've got plenty of cut aparts too. I don't need any more of those. This is a gray, kind of like a damask, and then a print. I like both patterns, so let's do one and one. Some more butterflies. The other side is a dark gray. And yet more foil, but then we get that mustard yellow color, so I do like that. Here's that kind of purpley. And the other side's a really pretty green. More foil. And then like a neutral. This is also foiled, but at least it's not the entire thing. And one of those is a kit, and one of these is just a yellow. I do like the green better than the small floral print. More foil. Okay, you guys, like seriously, let's knock the foil back a little bit. Not that any manufacturers are listening to me. Okay. This is a very delicate floral, and with that purpley color. This is a brown. More of that yellow, and then that small floral. Shocking, more foil, but there is a brown, a solid brown on the other side, like that. An outline floral with a brown, and then this is, I guess it's kind of that purpley color. More of that purpley color, and then the butterflies. These you would be able to trim out if you needed some embellishments. More cut aparts. The back side is a light yellow. Okay, so I've got papers spread out everywhere. Let me sign off here for a minute and put some kits together and come back and show you how I combined these two paper pads. Okay, so I have 4 sheets that did not make their way into a kit. They happen to be both the same patterns. They both are heavily foiled on the other side. I will put these in my stash. This is going to go in my stack of cardstock that needs to be sorted. All the other kits I made with the 2 paper pads, with the exception of this one, this first one. I did pull this sheet from my stash. This is a die cut with a view, so DCWV paper from another paper pad. But I did like the color with these flowers, and I liked it with this darker brown. These are both from the DCWV paper pad, so it kind of makes sense that this color works, but that's the only addition that I brought into the kits. Okay, now it just so happened to be that the die cut one has the hole at the top and the Parklane one doesn't, so it's really easy to see which papers came from which. I didn't notice that until after all the kits were put together, so I wasn't looking at that and going, oh, this is from the same paper pad, therefore it goes together. I just literally went with what I liked based on colors, and then it was interesting to see how this all played out. It'd be interesting to see too how many I used as inspiration versus from each paper pad. So I'm gonna actually keep track of that because I'm just curious. I have a sneaking suspicion that more of them came from this one, from the die cut, from the Parklane one, than this one, but you know, I'm curious. So I'm just gonna have a little tally here, and we're gonna call this Parklane and DCWV. So the first one is that animal print, which is from the Parklane pad, and I paired that with the plaid, also from the Parklane. And then this yellow quatrefoil from DCW, and this kind of fleur-de-lis. What? It's not really fleur-de-lis. What is it? It's like a Victorian kind of print, you know, damask or something. That's also from DCWV. So this is 50-50 from each paper pad, but the inspiration was from Parklane. I used that same inspiration again, and I paired that with this purple geometric from Parklane, and then this leafy green print from DCWV from the die cut pack. I'm just going to call it die cut from now on. And while I don't necessarily like these two patterns together, I like the brightness that it brings to this as I do this one. They both have a brighter, like they brighten up the paper, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This is also from die cuts. It is the green leaf print. Again, these two I would not normally pair together, but because of how I would probably use this. I would probably use something like this for matting and this as a layer, or I could flip it up either which way. It just gives me options. And basically what I'm saying is that these two patterns probably won't be next to each other, so I would be okay. So again, this is a 50-50 split, but Parklane was the inspiration. Okay, so I did add 2 sheets of this animal print. These are both from Parklane. And I added this wood grain, also from Parklane. And then this chocolate brown small floral from Die Cuts, and the green from Die Cuts. So technically, if we don't count the 2 sheets, which I just threw in the second one in here because I couldn't make another kit with it, we're gonna say it's still 50-50, but this is again Parklane. So 3 Parklane, nothing for Die Cuts, but 50-50 pretty much for the kits. Okay, this time we're starting with Die Cuts, and it's this really pretty floral with the butterflies and the color's a little bit different, right? It's got the peachy and the dark gray and the kind of mustard yellow. I paired that one with the back side of this one, and I am going to count these as 2 separate because I deliberately picked it because of this pattern, whereas the other one I used the same pattern. I had this dark gray from the Die Cuts, so I'm really liking how those 3 look together. And then the yellow from the Die Cuts. So this one is strictly from the Die Cut pad. There is no Parklane in here at all. This pretty butterfly print from the Die Cut I paired with Parklane hash in the mustard, and this animal print in the purple, which is also from Parklane, and the wood grain from Parklane. So while the other one was all Die Cuts, this one's mostly Parklane, but the inspiration is Die Cuts. Very interesting. Just goes to show you how well these 2 paper pads play with each other. Okay, the next one is that same print again from Die Cuts. I paired it with the dark purple dot from Die Cuts, and I paired it also with that light purple geometric from Parklane, and that damask from Die Cuts. Okay, we're neck and neck, 3 and 3. Okay, this birdie papers from Parklane, which I paired with the wood grain also from Parklane, the dark purple damask from Die Cuts, and this green dotted circle from Die Cuts. I really like this kit. I think this is probably one of my favorites. Same print again, but this time I paired it with Die Cuts dotted purple, and then that green on white leaf, and I threw in this, which is from Die Cuts, and then I threw in this dark brown from Die Cuts as well. It's a small floral, and I did that just, even though there's not a lot of brown in here per se, I think because this is an outdoory kind of theme, the brown just fits anyways. Plus some of this purple has a brownish tone to it, so I think it all works. Okay, this insect paper from Parklane I paired with that damask from Die Cuts and the wood grain from Die Cuts. So Parklane is now sitting at 6, Die Cuts with 3. Here's another one, that same print again. This time I paired it with this light purple small floral from Die Cuts and the dotted pattern from Die Cuts and the wood grain from Die Cuts. Now we have the purple butterflies, which is from Parklane. Paired that with the hash yellow from Parklane and the plaid from Parklane. So this is an all Parklane one. I like this one too. Same print again, but this time I paired it with this, what do they call it? They call it concentric circle. Is that what it is? With the hearts. And then that's from Die Cuts. And this brown from Die Cuts. Again, this doesn't have brown per se in it, but the butterflies do read a little bit brown, and it's outdoors. The leaves are kind of that olivey, browny green. So again, I think this still works, even though that technically this color isn't in here. And that's another win for Parklane. Then we got the big, bold butterfly print, also from Parklane. I paired that with a wood grain from Parklane, and then that light, small purple from Die Cuts. And I threw in the yellow quatrefoil from Die Cuts as well. This is really dark, and I think this just adds some brightness to it. And then the last kit is that same print, again from Parklane. I paired that with that corduroy looking paper from Parklane. This is that medium toned purple from Die Cut. And I also added in this word script from Die Cuts. Again, I like the light print with this darker print just to balance it out. So overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 kits were from Parklane, or 11 kits were initiated from Parklane, and 3 were initiated from Die Cut. So I would say that this is a fantastic combination. The Parklane gives you a lot of inspiring pieces, at least in my opinion, and the Die Cut gives you a lot of supporting papers. So that is it, my friends, for this paper pad showdown, if you want to call it, or collaboration would probably be a better word, between Parklane Woodland and Die Cuts with a View English Garden. Let me know below what you think of me combining the 2 paper pads. Good idea, not so good idea, and what was your favorite paper kit? Thanks so much for joining me, and until next time, happy crafting.